Orange Cassidy.
How many times I'ma tell him I ain't never been to bus store, sucker, I'm the same OG. How many times I'ma tell him I ain't quitting, I ain't stopping, gotta hustle for my family. Bills getting stacked up, can't wait to tell my mama she could pack up.
Orange Cassidy.
How many times I'ma tell him I ain't never been to bus store, sucker, I'm the same OG.
It's like I'm Orange Cassidy. If you asking me, my style's a masterpiece, or exactly seen with my jeans, my jacket's creased. I could be the man, understand it has to be. Yeah. They told me that my best friend's back. I'm cooler in my demeanor, that's an untold fact. My swag cool with the shades, my style's underrated. Nobody even hate it, no doubt I am your favorite. Yeah, I keep my hands in my pocket, watching. Being great is the only option. Don't have to do much, get it rockin'. Nobody got swagger like me, style like me, poppin' like me, legend like me. Already told them I am next and I'm destined to be the coolest with the best and keep a crew of best friends. Cause I'm the same OG, Orange Cassidy.
How many times I'ma tell him?
Orange Cassidy.
How many times I'ma tell him I ain't never been to bus store, sucker, I'm the same OG. How many times I'ma tell him I ain't quitting, I ain't stopping, gotta hustle for my family. Bills getting stacked up, can't wait to tell my mama she could pack up.
Orange Cassidy.
How many times I'ma tell him I ain't never been to bus store, sucker, I'm the same OG.
It's like I'm Orange Cassidy. If you asking me, my style's a masterpiece, or exactly seen with my jeans, my jacket's creased. I could be the man, understand it has to be. Yeah. They told me that my best friend's back. I'm cooler in my demeanor, that's an untold fact. My swag cool with the shades, my style's underrated. Nobody even hate it, no doubt I am your favorite. Yeah, I keep my hands in my pocket, watching. Being great is the only option. Don't have to do much, get it rockin'. Nobody got swagger like me, style like me, poppin' like me, legend like me. Already told them I am next and I'm destined to be the coolest with the best and keep a crew of best friends. Cause I'm the same OG, Orange Cassidy.
How many times I'ma tell him?
Alright guys, thank you for joining No Offense here. Today, as promised, we bring to you Monteasy. We're not going to keep you waiting because we know you've been waiting all day. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Let me go ahead and bring him in. Let me see here. What's going on, my G?
Hey, what's going on, King? Thank you for the time on this wonderful show, man. Wonderful evening here, Monday evening here. Just here cooling and got done with some grinding, man. How you today?
I'm blessed and highly favored, my dog, especially with you being on the show, man. We want to thank you again for taking the opportunity, man, because you know without you guys we couldn't make this happen. So, my goal though is to get straight to business, man. You ready? Let's get it.
Let's get it, my God. Let's do it.
First and foremost, my G, how old are you?
I'm 31. I turn I'm a Cancer, June 23rd. I turn 32, and in June. So right in the prime of my life, man. Just living life, taking everything day by day, my man.
Man. Well, definitely. If we don't get to speak before then, happy birthday, happy early birthday. I guess that made me one of the first to go ahead and give you that praise, man. Definitely. I know. Hey, man. Hey, man, you deserve it, man. You know, this life hard, man. If you can make it, dog, you definitely deserve to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Amen, King. You on to something there, bro. Like, you know, especially with everything going on in the world right now, man. For for us to be able to have this conversation and build and as black men in this world, man, is definitely a positive. So I'm definitely
Hey
appreciative of
man,
it.
I'm right there with you. How long have you been at your craft, my dog?
Well, man, I've been like I said, I was 31 years old. I've been writing music since I was about 15. Professionally recording in a studio since 21. Been just working on my craft, man, this whole time. Music was something that I was raised around, not necessarily like from a big musical family. There's a lot of people who play a lot of instruments and stuff. But my grandmother always had records in the house. She was one of those families, back in the 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. People would always buy records. They would buy albums. They would buy albums every weekend. She would go and buy, whatever albums out, the new Teddy Pendergrass, the new Four Tops, Commodores, you name it. She would always buy it. So when I was younger, she would always play music in the house. So that subconsciously like became my thing. That became my craft, being able to not only make the music that I wanted to make, but to be able to subconsciously learn from all the greats, all the great R&B singers. And then as I got older, I got into hip hop, and I got inspired by the 50 Cents, the Talib Kweli's, the Ti's, the Eric Sermons, the Lloyd Bankses of the world, the Ludacris's, Little Wayne's. So as I was in my youth and I was coming up, I just picked up a pen and I just started writing. Started working on my craft. Just worked on my craft, and my mentor is Shamelo Durant. He produced Busta Rhymes, Put Your Hands on My Eyes Can See. He made that beat. So, and he produced for Bell Biv DeVoe and Petey Pablo and other people. So he's been my mentor through it all, throughout these 15 years of me doing this. So I've been at my craft a long time, man. But I feel like I'm just hitting my peak now, especially with like having life experience along with the talent.
I got you. I got you. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely hear in your music. You definitely got that. You got that music element. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as musicianship, listening, paying attention to your chords and things like that, man. I was actually we were playing one of your songs when the show began, and we're gonna leave them again at the end of the show with the I believe we were playing Same OG in the beginning, and at the end we're gonna play the I'm sorry, the Moxley. That's what it was, man. Dude, go. They both the tracks go hard. Both the tracks go hard, man. Y'all need to be definitely putting these in your library. You know what I'm saying? So, and I like the fact that you brought up that old school record store, man. It brought me back, man, where music was music, and the quality of music was even as far as like the quality of listening to the record was even so much better than like I know a lot of us have grown up on CDs and MP3s, but when you hear that record, man, and you hear that crack. You know what I'm saying in the beginning, like when you hear that before the stereo actually started playing, man, and it would make you sound like you had the band in the room with you, man. That's another thing we don't have, much these days is live bands, man. How would you feel maybe one day doing the track with a live band behind you, boss?
I was able to perform a few times with a live band, and honestly, it is an experience of my life. Um, I will always say, like, if I ever went on like a live tour and I could afford a live band, I would take them with me, because so much to your performance, it adds so much of an element here. And it like if I could be like Black on the Roots and just have a band and just perform with a band the whole time, would be the most amazing thing. If not, then my cousins or female have her be my DJ. Um, a lot of the music that you heard that you mentioned, I make theme songs for wrestlers. That's my career. That's what I do. So, if you guys, let's go to your local TV show on TNT every Wednesday night. You'll hear my song "Take Flight" for Sammy Guevara, which is on AEW television on TNT every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Make sure you guys check that out. So that both songs that you're hearing wrestling music, it just doesn't sound like it. Then they made G Orange Cassidy, which the videos come out very very soon, and Moxley. They're both wrestling records. So salute to you, bro, not only for playing that, but for the opportunity, and definitely I'm looking forward to playing both of those live bands soon.
Man, that would be awesome. That's definitely something I don't want to miss. As a musician myself, dude, I love hearing live music, and like you said, it brings an element like no other. I mean, granted, nothing wrong with beat makers. Shout out to all the beat makers, you know what I'm saying, who in the lab and go hard. But it's something about that. It's something about that hearing that trombone, that saxophone, that trumpet. You know what I'm saying? Get behind you and really grooving. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different. So how would you say? I know you say this is what you do, my man. And congratulations on being established and definitely making it. But how often do you dedicate time to your like craft? Like do you is this like a Monday through Friday through Sunday? You know, or is this like, hey man, I got that urge, I need to hit the microphone right now type deal?
Well, it's like with me doing it so long, I'm the kind of person where I constantly have to be
Mm-hmm.
working on something. Um, Maybe 3 different projects at a time, like musically, but with my City podcast, make sure you guys check that out. YouTube.com/Swerve City Podcast. Isaiah Swerve Scott, uh, WWE wrestler. We do that podcast, and make sure you guys check that out. It's a beautiful thing, man, because I as I've gotten like more into the habit of it, I have to write consistently. Like me and Isaiah, we're working on our album, our second album. Make sure you guys stream that from Humble Beginnings on all platforms right now, Swerve City. And then I have my own stuff, like the stuff that you're playing on the show, my own solo stuff. So I'm always writing. I'm at least in the studio once or twice a week, up to 2 or 3 hours, always working on something. I've become more efficient, but I'm always writing. I'm always working on ideas, always working on visuals, trying to, going through different processes, different changes, different type styles of music and stuff that I'm trying to do. So it's always something that it's become a 9 to 5 thing, and it's become something that I really work on my craft. I'm about to get into more of the executive producing side of things too, helping other people develop as artists, and it's an amazing feeling. It's an amazing feeling being able to do both, to be able to step back and watch others grow. My friend, my brother Isaiah, this is his first time in the studio, so watching him grow. Other wrestlers I'm inspiring to get in the studio to do their craft. It's like, and as a family, we're all helping each other. So it's a beautiful
Definitely,
thing,
definitely.
man.
You know, here we preach support all day long, man. Our goal here is to be able to get people, hopefully, to a level like you, man. You know, like you said, this is a 9 to 5 thing for you. I know for every musician, every person who strives to, who has that desire, you know what I'm saying, to want to do music all day, every day. They want to get in the position that you were in. So how? Oh, is there a bit of advice that you could spare us and those other artists, as far as people who may be just starting or getting established? Is there something that you could tell us now because you're in that seat? A little bit of advice that they could take from heart and make sure they run with that.
Yeah, my advice first would be to learn how to multitask as much as possible in this industry. Work on your pen, work on your craft. Know exactly whenever you buy a beat, write copyrights to a beat. If you're not a producer yourself, know exactly your lease agreements on every beat that you lease. Know your leasing agreements with you and your producer. Know what ASCAP and BMI is. Know what sound exchange is. Know what monetization means. Learn the actual business and registering your records. Learn exactly how the business goes. Sit back, take your time. Um, I always tell people don't put enough music out. Put music out, but also make sure they're registered and copyrighted the right way. Patent your name, patent trademark your name, get all the business done stuff first. It is the most tedious and most boring thing that can help kind of stifle the creative process, but you have to get it done. I always try to do both at the same time, put out the music and at the same time work on the craft and stuff that I'm working on. So, you know, always learn the business first. I always tell people that learn the business. Any questions, I'm always available here. MonteasyTV@gmail.com. TZ Scott on Instagram and Twitter. I always give game. If you guys can have any questions on getting placements on television, like how I did it, it's just all about who you know. And I'm always been willing to give up game and never burn any relationships in this game. Always keep your relationships open. There is a time when you peak, There is a time when you go down. There's a time when you're just consistent. Um, Last bit of advice I was always told by my mentor is there's the come up stage, there's the consistency stage, and there's the comeback stage. And everybody loves the come up stage, the come up story of that person. And then when that person already came up, now it's how consistent can you be? And if the wave changes, it's about the comeback. But don't be afraid of consistency. Yes, consistency will be sometimes boring. Every song is not going to be a hit. Every album is not going to be a classic. But as long as you stay consistent, when you hang your hat up and you hang the mic up, you have no regrets after that.
Okay, okay. That definitely sounds like useful advice, man, and I definitely thank you. I know a lot of times in the culture, especially with our culture, with something we're trying to break, is that it seems like some people find the formula, man, and they just I don't know if they're scared or they don't want to give it up, or that we're trying to definitely break that here, man. So I appreciate you for spreading that love and giving that information, man. Um, if you know at the level you are at, who are some people that you believe influenced your style of delivery? I know earlier you were saying that you had that background as far as hearing real music in the home, man. I know that goes a long way, but everything that you heard, man, who were your favorites, boss?
Um, my favorites to listen to, and that helped inspire me. 50 Cent is up there. Nas is up there. Um, Ti is up there. Early Ludacris, Afro Ludacris. Method Man is one of my biggest inspirations just because of his style and his swagger. Who's another person? Talib Kweli because of the conscious more mindset. When I'm able to get in that bag, he's definitely my inspiration on that. One of the main reasons why I rap. Lloyd Banks for the punchlines type stuff. I'm a huge early Joel Santana fan. Like when he was young, that guy was amazing. I thought he was going to be like the next GOAT. Who else? There's other people that inspire me. I get a lot of my inspirations from other music though. Bobby Womack, Sam Cooke, Boney James, the jazz player. I mean, Otis Redding from the '60s, Marvin Gaye, Rick James, Michael Jackson, Prince, the OJ's, Donnell Jones. I mean, even though that's why I always try to get a good singer on a record because that I just grew up from an R&B household. I grew up around. That's what I grew up around. Rap just ended up being the skill that I perfected the most, but really it's R&B. I'm an R&B soul at heart, so that is really my inspiration. Anything R&B from Chris Brown now to back in the day with Smokey Robinson, man. Those are my big inspirations.
Man, when you was naming those names, man, I had to look down at my Spotify, dude. I thought we was reading the same playlist, man. Talking about Sam Cooke, talking about man. Oh man, dude, you just brought me back, man. You just brought me back, and a lot of times, I know myself. I like to jam sometimes. Like nothing wrong with today's school, and nothing wrong with today's hip hop. But sometimes, man, I just gotta have those old days, like when mom, when mom used to shut everything down. You had to clean the house. She put on that loud, you know what I'm saying, that old school, man, and just let them go. You know what I'm saying? That music with a message. That's why I think I really what really pulls us to your music as well is that message that you deliver. Is you're not just talking, man. You saying something. You know what I'm saying? And that's I feel like that's very important when it comes to making these tracks. If you could collab with any artist, dead or alive, boss, it doesn't matter. Money's not even a conversation. If you could make a track with anybody of your choosing, dead or alive, who's on that dream track with you?
I really it's changed over the years because most people would say like what studio experience or what song do you think that you would want to make with someone? And honestly, man, I'm looking at it on the sense of this. If I had the dream record that I can do, I would do a song with Missy Elliott and I would have Pharrell make the beat. I think that I think that for me, I want to be creatively challenged. I think Missy would challenge me creatively to the point where I'd have to switch my style up. And I think Pharrell is the most versatile hip hop producer I've ever heard. So I think that with them coming together and me with my style being able, I want to come to their world and adapt. I would love to do a studio session with Missy Elliott and have Pharrell be the person making the beat and just get both of their songwriting minds and just coach me on what the direction they're trying to go. and I would let them take the lead and just try to make the most creative video musical song that I've ever made in my life. So I look at it from more of a challenge standpoint, and I think and Missy's my favorite female artist of all time. So um, and Pharrell's my favorite one is my favorite producer. So I would love to get in the studio with both of them on a dream
Sure,
song.
okay. It wouldn't be a no offense interview if I didn't ask you this next question. I mean, you are extremely what I would consider at the top as far as what you want to, as far as what you hope to achieve in a music career. I have to ask you though. You wake up tomorrow, the phone rings. It's the best call of your entire career, boss. Who's on the line, and how does that conversation go?
Great question, man. That's a good question. That dream call would be from my brother Isaiah Swerve Scott, and that would be that our podcast became number one in the world on the charts and became syndicated like XM radio thing. That would make me the happiest because of where we started and how hard and how much work we put in to get that podcast on from WWE to where we're at now to be in a syndicated show, charting the top in the charts on all podcasts, and just doing that hour of work that we put in, and just that would make me the happiest because of knowing that journey, that phone call, and all the work that we put in on this and how hard we go. That would make me the happiest, especially at this point with me going into the media lane of my career and really, really trying to put my teeth into that part. That would make me the
Okay,
happiest.
okay. All right. So at this point, I mean, I know with everything that you got going on, are you still performing? Are you still open to performing? Are you still doing shows?
Yeah, me being in the wrestling lane, man, I've traveled all over the world, man, to many different states at different wrestling venues, California, Seattle, West Virginia, Virginia, Maryland, New York, here in Florida, North Carolina. I've been all over the world just performing at wrestling venues, and I stopped doing it for a while because after the podcast got with the WWE cosign, I kind of chilled out for a minute. But once Godspeed, everything opens back up and everybody's in good health to where we can somewhat live a relatively normal life as it was before with everything going on with the world right now in this current pandemic. I will definitely be getting back into the swing of things with that. I was doing it for a period of time, performing, no feeling like that, and last time I did is actually with a live band. The last time I performed live, so I will definitely love to get back into the swing of things with that, and get back on a little tour, get back on a tour. And the last show I did was in New York, so originally where I'm from. So I will definitely love to get back into the swing of things with that sometime within the near future. I had some plans dates planned, excuse me. So I would like to get back into the swing of things with that, hopefully
Okay.
later this year.
Let me ask you, what's your favorite song to perform? I know everybody's got one in their bag, and what's your favorite? What's your favorite of your song that you like to perform?
If you guys go under Monteasy and iTunes Store, Google Play, Spotify, you stream Monteasy's music. There's a song called Reality Check that I did about 4 years ago, and it is the best song I've ever done with a live band. It is you guys check it out, and if you guys go there and then check it out under Monteasy for the my iTunes store and Spotify store where you get all my music on all digital platforms. It has been the greatest song for me to do live. The energy that I get with that record is crazy. Do I feel it is the best wrestling record I've ever done? No. Is it the best one to do live? Yep. Just because of the music that I've done. And shout out to Justin LaBar for that connection on that theme song for his podcast. It was a theme song for this podcast that I made. And man, what a feeling, man. What a feeling of everything that I've done. So doing that live is absolutely my favorite, my brother.
All right, here's one that I don't really get to ask often, but I do have to ask how as someone as successful as you how do you find times to balance your music with your other obligations? Like, are you married? Do you have children? How does that does it play a toll on anything, or how do you manage to find that balance, boss?
Great question, man. See, I was always, when I was younger, I was one track minded. I knew there's going to be a certain amount of sacrifices that I had to make. There's a sacrifice we all have to make in order to become successful in some way, shape, or form. You're going to gain something, and you're going to, I wouldn't say lose something, but you're going to learn something. I'm currently single. My relationships, a lot of times they, from the past, they were long term. They didn't work out because I was really focused on my craft, and that's kind of like what happens. I've learned how to balance my time. I do have children, so when I do have my custody time with my kids, I've learned how to drop everything and spend time with them. I don't. When I have my kids, I'm not doing anything music related. I'm not doing anything music related when I'm with my kids. And anybody that I work with, anybody that I team with, anybody on the team that I work with, for anything that I do, understand that when it's time with my kids, it's time with my kids. I'm not, you know, thinking about anything else. And I learned that that time is invaluable. You know what I mean? You can't replace that time. You know what I mean? And I've learned that that multitasking can be a great thing. It's really not for everybody. I believe that when certain people are on their goal, especially in the entertainment industry, with us being creators, natural overthinkers, people that constantly have to create, we need our space a lot of the time to create. We are also very we can be very quiet. We can be very focused. We have to create. In order to create, we have to sit down and really focus. And a lot of times that can hurt relationships. That can hurt time with your family, with your kids. But I've learned now how to balance it and how to walk away from it and to come back. I didn't know how to do that 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Now I've balanced it better. And even if I do get in a relationship later in life or whatever I decide to do, I'll be able to balance it more and be able to shut it off because sometimes you have to. I just didn't know how to shut it off. So now, as I'm older, more wiser towards how to do things with the business, I know how to shut it off now and then come back to it and pick it up where I left off.
I understand. Spoken like a wise man, somebody who's definitely learned. That's why I have to ask. I know a lot of us, they say you got to be careful what you ask for because we don't really think about all the things that come with it. But one thing
Hey,
I do respect,
amen.
and the fact that I love that you said was like when you do have your kids, it's that's the world stops for them, man. That time is invaluable. You don't get, what I'm saying, you don't get that back. So, and I understand 100% of what you mean, man. So shouts out for that. If there's a message that you can leave with your fans as far as through your music or just from person to person, intellect to intellect, what would that message be, boss?
I believe, man, when I was younger, my music message was just to prove I was like good. I just wanted to prove I could be in the conversation with anyone as far as like my pen and all that. I really was motivated on that. Now is just to show people that you know what, you can be consistent and you can always have a message in what you're saying. You don't have to, a wise man once told me, in music you want to diversify as much as your profile without giving up who you are. And if you can master doing different styles of music without losing who you are morally, you've done a very, very great job. And you can talk about all the views, all streams, everything like that. But a lot of times, man, as I make music now, it's just about making sure I have a point in what I'm saying. I'm not just gonna make music for no reason. No matter how I'm feeling at the time, it just has to be something that I feel. Music is all feeling, and it is a great thing to be able to sit back and say, okay, what am I going to talk about now? That's going to inspire someone. How am I going to be able to make good music? So when you put your music out there, that's your brand, that's your name, that's what you represent. So you have to represent that, and every song you put out represents a piece of your story and your chapter. Some chapters in the book aren't as great as others, but it's about being able to sit back, focus on what is that you want to focus on this record for these 2, 3, 4 minutes, however long the record is, and tell your story. So that is what it is now compared to what it is back then. Back then, I just wanted to be good, prove I was good, and now it has changed more to having something to say. Having something to say, and and making sure that I could touch someone's life with what I'm saying.
Gotcha. I only have a few more questions here for you, and I definitely appreciate your time, Monteasy. Um, what are some of your own personal goals in the next 5 years that you hope to accomplish?
Yes, great question, man. Next 5 years, man, I definitely want to get more into established in media. Well, for wrestling and other things as well. I want to definitely get the Shore City podcast that me and my bro does up and running. I want to get my other business that I'm working on, Apply Pressure, which is focused on natural health remedies and different products to take for your body, different training regimens, and do more motivational speaking tours and dates that I really want to get focused on. So I really want to build my media career and also to stay consistent with my music. But in 5 years, I really want to build my media imprint and business imprint, and really build my knowledge as far as business, and really start helping people on the health tip as well, and build my conglomerate of having different income, whether it's the Swerve City music, my own music, um, the Swerve City podcast, my own podcast, and really get into this motivational speaking and health thing. That's going to be my next thing I sink my teeth into, is start going around these elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and really get my motivational speaking chops in, because that's my next passion.
Understand? Okay. If your life was a movie or a book, what would the title be to it?
We call it the elements of growth, and I believe sometimes, whether it could be a movie, a documentary, sometimes you only get the truth when the person is gone, or when the person is here and not afraid to tell their story. Elements of growth would be the pluses and the negatives of my life. I remember there was a great documentary on the great boxer Sugar Ray Robinson. And even though he isn't here no more, they talked about the negatives of him as a person too, not just the positives. And they really broke down like the bad things about his life and stuff that he had to overcome, but the bad decisions that he made and how it affected them. And I really, really appreciated that, because it showed that that man was not perfect. As great as a boxer as he was, next to Muhammad Ali, considered the GOAT, as talented as he was still a flawed man. And they weren't afraid to, his estate wasn't afraid to bring that out and to talk about that other side. That, there's always a dark side to elements. So the elements of growth would be about me, my life, my trials and tribulations as a dad, as a, in relationships, in my music, all the triumphs, all, because I've had a lot of accomplishments, but it would also bring up a lot of the things that I had to overcome and bad decisions that I've made, and things that I paid. Like you said, like you was talking earlier about sacrifice and the price you pay. I did pay a price with a lot of things that I did too. So I will openly talk about both.
Sure, for sure. Well, it's definitely something we need to all get a ticket to, man. Because I already have a feeling, man. That's going, as a matter of fact, if we own it, man, if you got a movie, who is best fitting to play your role? Do you have anybody in mind that might be able to play that role?
Wow. Somebody, an actor, play the role of my life and really ace it down to where I would like it to be. Um, who would do a good? I forgot his name. Pardon my name. Pardon self. The dude that played the dude that played in Get Out. The African American guy, the black guy. He played in Get Out. He played the main character in Get Out. I think he would do a good job playing my life. That's pardon the name. I apologize, but just the way that his range of acting, I think he could play my life very well, and do a good job as well. Michael B. Jordan could too. Either one.
Gotcha. Okay. We talking about shoot. It's funny because his name is right there on tip of my tongue too. You talking about the guy who played Chris, right? And Get Out.
Yes.
Daniel Kalua.
Yep, that's his name. Yep, his name's on the tip of my tongue. Pardon self. Yep.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, yeah, it's definitely gonna be. Hey, man, if he can give an Oscar-nominated performance like that for your life, dude, I would definitely want to come and see that, man, and definitely, have a sit down with some brothers, man, and watch you progress. Watch you as a man make it in this world, boss. I think I would definitely be honored to sit down and watch that, man. And one of our final questions, dude, if in the futures, if we was to ask to interview you again as long as time permits. I know you're a busy man. Would you be willing to come back on the show and just give us an update of what's going on with your career? You know, how your thought process may have changed, how many opportunities have opened up for you, and things like that?
Oh man, whenever you guys need me, just DM me, my brother, and we will make it happen. Whenever you need me for any time, bro, just hit me up. I'll love to come on your show, man, and give you guys any updates, anything I could do to help, man. And from fellow king to king, I am 100% down, man. Love to update you guys on what's going on. No problem.
All right, man. We definitely appreciate you, Monteasy. Go ahead and run us down one more time how we can get more of your music. Let us know about that podcast, how we can tune in. Make sure we get more of your knowledge, boss. Because I definitely want to make sure that the audience knows and follows, man. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. And, make sure you guys go to TZ Scott on Instagram, Twitter. TZ Scott is my name. I will be dropping a music video next week for Same OG that will be coming out next week. Make sure you guys go to youtube.com/ message Monteasy TV, MESSAGE, Monteasy, MONTEASY TV. Subscribe to that. Subscribe to the Swerve City Podcast YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Instagram, the Twitter. Follow that at Swerve City Pod on Twitter and Swerve City Podcast Official on Instagram. Make sure you guys, stream everything Monteasy, Swerve City, both on both platforms, my rap group and my solo stuff. Make sure you guys follow Apply Pressure Health on Instagram. Apply Pressure Health. That is going to be testimonials, motivational speaking videos of different athletes, business owners, talking about their life, things they've had to overcome, different testimonials from different people in industries of overcoming depression, mental health, stuff like that. And look out for that podcast coming soon as well, where we sit down with different people and talk about the aspect of mental health and life and how that's going down. So any bookings, you guys can email me at monteasytv@gmail.com. Anything for the Swerve City Podcast, you go to swervecitypodcast@gmail.com. And that is where you can reach me personally and the podcast personally.
Well, thank you, Monteasy. We definitely wish you luck, man. We wish you great success, and we definitely thank you for your time, man. It's been my honor, and thanks for everyone who watched, man. We hope you have a great night and a great year and a great life, my man.
You too, man. Bless, Kate. Stay
Thank you,
healthy,
boss.
bro.
Thank you guys again for tuning in to No Offense. This concludes the Monteasy interview. We thank you again for coming in, rocking with us, sitting down and listening to what the brother has to say. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow. We'll have another guest for you, as well as Wednesday. We'll have more guests for you. This whole week we're gonna try to bring you somebody new. That's what we do here. So much love. God bless. Stay tuned for that Moxley. That's promised by Monteasy. And you guys take care. And don't forget to love each other.
Moxley. Yeah, through all the ridicule, always your opinions minuscule. Unless a dude's physical, for all the wrestlers in stage are critical. Stage for the principle, Moxley is official proof. I wanted my freedom to be the true of me, for what it proves to be rudimentary, losing seat. I am walking through the fans, now you see a star. All man defeat the odds, you want it, let's get it on. I'm just waiting for my chance to get my shine. Tired of holding back, I got this pushing in my mind. Hawk on to the core through the flaws and mistakes. My suggestion is to get up and get out my way. You tried to hold me down when it was getting real. All I wanted was my freedom, like I'm turning heel. But now the truth, I know how it feels. Takes more than a fish in the air to be a shield, you dig? This is me, it ain't easy, always hawk off for the TV. I just wrestle to be greater, you can't blame me though. Moxley, you can't tell me different, I am free from your restriction. It is Monteasy, Moxley on the radio. Moxley, man, I came to change the game and it is Moxley. Never will I do it the same, and it is AEW, it's time to respond, and it is I am here until my era is gone, and it is there's many who has told me to stop violence and not. I'll remain forever on top. Yeah, loner to the core. These wrestle wars, I'm trapping all these doors. In my mind of these scores, violence involved. Black vest, but no Austin at all. The focus, adrenaline on. This is my response. I own Tony Khan. Better watch your back. Notice I'm all lifted. Violence is all gifted. Submission. I'm just waiting for my chance to get my shine. Tired of holding back, I got this pushing in my mind. Hawk on to the floor through the flaws and mistakes. My suggestion is to get up and get out my way. You tried to hold me down when it was getting real. All I wanted was my freedom, like I'm turning heel. But now I know how it feels. Takes more than a fist in the air to become a shield. A loner, this is me. It ain't easy, always hawk off for the TV. I just wrestle to be greater, you can't blame me though. Moxley, you can't tell me different, I am free from your restriction. It is Monteasy, Moxley on the radio. Moxley, man, I came to change the game and it is Moxley. Never will I do it the same, and it is AEW, it's time to respond, and it is I am here until my era is gone, and it is when you hear me on the radio, when you hear me on the radio, when you hear me on the radio, when you hear me on the radio. This is me, it ain't easy, always hawk off for the TV. I just wrestle to be greater, you can't blame me though. Moxley, you can't tell me different, I am free from your restriction. It is Monteasy, Moxley on the radio. Moxley, man, I came to change the game and it is never will I do it the same, and it is AEW, it's time to respond, and it is I am here until my era is gone, and it is